I pray you're having a great day. I wanted to share with you a simple but yet profound message. First, I would like to say I am grateful that you're here today. It means a lot to me. It really means more than you know. I am grateful for the gospel. I'm grateful for the fast and testimony meeting we had at church today and the fact that so many people were able to bear their testimony. I'm grateful for what I learned reading and pondering scripture and the Come Follow Me program and curriculum that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints provides for us to study and grow that we can use to strengthen families in faith. So I prepared a little story for you, and I just feel like this resonated with me because I wanted to, I'm trying to be more transparent. I'm trying to be more raw and honest about my emotions and what's going on. And this just, I've been journaling a lot and I've been writing a lot because I'm so desperately trying to build my YouTube. And it's like, with 90K subscribers and yet I don't qualify. So I don't get it, but that's okay. For the partner program. But anyway, this is a Sabbath. I don't want to talk about business. But I want to share a message that life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. Now, we all have heard this before, right? But how often do we truly embrace it? This Sunday, I want to remind you that challenges, hurdles, and rainy days are evident. But our response, that's truly entirely up to us. It's up to us whether we choose to go right, left, or to seek Him and strive to be more like our Creator. I was so blessed last Sunday. A friend of mine that I don't even know on Instagram did something for me. And it brought tears of joy in my heart. And I can't, I'm not going to share it because it's personal, but it was something that was really personal to me. So if you're ever faced with a recent challenge and find a way to find joy or to learn from it, this is what I want to share. I was so grateful for this that I realized I hadn't been to the temple in about 3 weeks. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the temple. I'm going to seek guidance. I'm going to seek answers from the Lord. And I was able to, and I invited my friend Elizabeth, and I was able to perform her father's proxy endowment. And it was so powerful. And it was such a blessing to see on the card, it said June of 2022, his proxy, baptism, and confirmation and initiatory were done. And she allowed me to do that. And then she had asked me on Wednesday if I would do his endowment. And it was precious. So I realized that God takes care of us even in the hardest of times. We just need to know where to look. And sometimes it requires us to humble ourselves a little and to say, hey, I felt inspired to say what you see around me is an illusion. It's not me. It's not, or I'm having a hard time. And it's okay to say that. So Again, if you're faced with any recent challenges and found a way to find joy or to learn from it, this is a great message to share. Last week, when I was faced with some challenges, I decided to go to the temple and give thanks for the blessings. And I got more out of that than anything monetary could ever buy. Or, you know, leaving the temple, I was just feeling like elated because I was able to do this, and we sealed him to his parents. And it was so, so special. So if you haven't been to the temple in a while, think about it. I don't hold the keys over you with the stewardship, so I can't say go, but you have to come to that. That's not for me to tell you what to do, but I'm just sharing what I did. And it's all because of one man I have never met before in my life. And I felt the best way I could give thanks for that blessing was to go to the temple and bring honor to ancestors. So I've been doing a lot of family history work. This is not what I do it from. I do it from my laptop or iPad, but I keep a Ziploc bag with all the lessons. Oops, why is the restoration upside down? I have, family and temples. I have tithing and fast offerings, and that is such a huge, huge, huge blessing. Because it doesn't matter whether you have 30 cents to give. If you made $3 last week, the Lord knows your intent. Or whether you made $3,000 last week and you give 300 or even 400, the Lord knows your intent. But withholding those tithings will not bring the blessings. And I can testify to that. I don't know why I'm going to go on this tangent, but whenever I get the goosebumps, I guess I better follow with it. So there's a situation that happened in October of 2019. I was in Utah since July, traveling, doing devotionals, living with returning missionary parents. And I was nervous that I wasn't going to have enough money to drive home. And a person that I only met once in, oh my gosh, it was Colorado. He had this prompting to say, I'm concerned for you. He goes, let me send you some money. And I said, no, I don't need it. No. When I got home, I had $7 to my name. That was the difference between sleeping in a car or getting a motel and resting. When I was in Des Moines, Iowa, I think it was, or Nebraska, I was staying at a Marriott, and the regional manager recognized me. And he goes, wait, are you the guy who stole the Book of Mormon? I said, yes, I am. He goes, oh my gosh. He goes, and where are you going? I said, I'm driving to Connecticut. He goes, oh, you driving through Colorado? Or no, Ohio? He goes, I would love to put you up at the Courtyard Marriott on me. I happen to be one of the managers over. And I was like, really? And so what happened was, just before General Conference, I went in my bank account and I said, I don't think I should pay my tithing because I'm not sure if I'll have enough money to get back to Connecticut. And maybe I can pay it when I get to Connecticut. And then I had this strong feeling, nope, pay your tithing now. Pay it now. And within 24 hours, that's when this person called me. within a week, I had a free hotel room. I had another family call me and say, we were praying and my husband and I wanted to ask you a funny question. Do you have AAA on your car? And I says, no. And they says, we would like to get it for you. So there's blessings that happen from paying your tithing. And it doesn't matter how small or how large, as long as you're paying the percentage that's required, the blessings and the Lord will take care of you. So with that being said, every challenge carries a lesson. Some storms, they last a long time. But not to get wet and miserable, but to dance, to grow, and to find those rainbows. That's what I like to do. Rather than having a woe is me pity party, I would prefer to have all right, Dennis, what do you need to do to turn this situation around? And as a former VP of sales for a division of Procter & Gamble, I had 400 people underneath me. I would never tolerate a pity party. And that was before I had the gospel. So I guess as I'm reflecting on this Sunday, my challenge for you is this. It's simple. Find that one thing that's been troubling you and ask yourself, how can I dance in the rain? What lessons are here? And then take that brave step, like I did last week. I shared a message with subscribers on my Instagram feed, and it was a private, heartfelt message. But I only have 8 or 9 subscribers, so not many people got it, which I guess is a safe thing for me because I felt like it wasn't being broadcasted to everybody on InstaWorld or all over YouTube. So that's my step. But as so every night I try to read one of the missionary brochures. And that's another thing I said. I said to our sister missionaries today, I said, use me. If you need me, use me. The law of chastity, I've been really studying a lot because I feel that it strengthens me to know that I am following the covenant path. It gives me courage to humbly defend why I'm single and why I choose to be. And along with the temple work and immersing myself in Scripture is key. So today was Fast and Testimony meeting, and it was probably one of the most powerful Fast and Testimony meetings that I've been to in a while. Everybody that got up bore their testimony, and it resonated with me. And I know it resonated with a lot of people. I got up and shared mine, which I wasn't planning on doing. I couldn't tell you one thing that I said. But that to me is a sign that the Spirit was so felt that it was channeled of God as I bared my testimony. And the Holy Ghost was guiding me to bear witness of His gospel, which is what Fast and Testimony meetings are all about. There's another interesting story about that, and I can't believe I'm like getting Latter-day Saint Tourette's tonight. I don't know what it is, but the Spirit's just saying share it. I Early on, after I was baptized, I've had callings that have required me to be, to attend ward council or to attend the state conference leadership trainings and stuff. And when I was set apart really early on after being baptized to serve with missionaries all over the world by a general authority, uh, I was like, wowzer. But we were taught that if somebody went up and started sharing not a testimony at the pulpit, but they were talking about, oh, I just went on vacation, or I just did this, or I just did that, or, we all have those in the ward. Everybody has them. But they weren't bringing it back to the Savior. We were taught to immediately get up there and to bring it back to our Savior Jesus Christ and the atonement and the gospel and scripture and that's exactly what. So when I was in Sandy, Utah last year, there were several people that had went up, and it was about me, and I was like, and so I just looked at the bishop, but I went right up there and I bared my testimony and couldn't tell you what I said. Later, he asked if he could speak to me in his office. And immediately I'm like, oh no, what have I done now? But no, it's not like being called to the principal's office. And he had some questions for me because he, wanted to know how to deal with some people that were coming out to him and stuff. And I said, keep it gospel centered. Keep it focused right on what's in the app. Keep it on what is in our official church site. And I said, Bishop, I said, I'm so sorry if I got up there and just bared my testimony like that. I said, but this is what I was taught. And he goes, oh no, don't worry about it. He goes, do you know, for some people that is their testimony. And I went, wow. And he goes, I don't mind it when people do that. He goes, everybody has a different way. And I was just like, what a Christ-like attribute. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to close with my testimony. And I want to say that I know that being a tithing patron, a full tithing patron within the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Even when you don't have a lot of money to give. But if you pay that 10%, God will take care of you. And I know that this gospel has saved my life. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for this gospel. It means the world. And as I was preparing my Sunday Come Follow Me message for my YouTube channel this week, I was reminded in Romans how much Paul shouted and proclaimed his gospel. And you can't deny that. You can't. So I shared in my stories a link to my YouTube channel that has the Come Follow Me curriculum. If you want to see it, it's about 15 minutes long. This was probably one of the most powerful Come Follow Me lessons I've taught or shared. I don't like to use the word taught because I started doing it to learn. Because I'm still green. I mess up. I'm not perfect. But who is? our Savior, Jesus Christ. He's the perfect one. We're just striving to be. And I always say, if I can just get 1% better for every video I upload on YouTube, I've achieved something. And I know we can all strive to be more like our Savior if we have it with pure heart, with pure intent. And I say that as my testimony in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Oklahoma. Hello. I spoke in Edmond, Oklahoma. You must know President Hopkins and his first counselor. And I also met the Oklahoma stake president. He attended. I did a 11 stake or 9 stake devotional out there. It was a lot of fun. So I love my peeps in Oklahoma. You guys are awesome. I speak to President Hopkins on a regular basis and his wife. Our friend JXLXB, thank you for being an inspiration. No, you guys are all an inspiration. Anytime, I'm just following the Spirit. So our friend CAR says, thank you so much. Anytime, are you kidding? This is what I do. And I have spent 9 weeks off Instagram pretty much, but I'm stepping my way back on. But you gotta listen to those promptings. Dreamer of books. I'm teary-eyed through testimony meetings, and now both are so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Well, thank you for sharing. You guys have become my family. You really have. Hi, Kathy. It's good to see you. Karen, thank you so much for the comment. And let's see. Oh, my stands are rocking every time I try to move my phone. I don't have my iPad set up because it keeps freezing on me, so I can't watch this. Our friends Gather In are on, and I would highly encourage you following them. He says, good morning, Dennis. Always good to see you on the Monday morning. So they have an amazing podcast also on YouTube. Their name is gather_in_podcast. And he and I believe his wife are serving a senior mission. So in Australia. So it's their Monday morning. Okay, so I'm going to stop. Oops, wait a minute. Oh, I love that American flag. OSIDE. Thank you. I love your American flag for your screen name or your profile picture. I can't talk tonight. I probably ought to just get to bed because it's what time? Oh, it's 10 o'clock. So I operate on Utah Standard Time, so I'm pretty cool, even though I'm not there. Sandy, hello. Thank you always for sharing your testimony from your heart. Absolutely. And those of you who don't know, what I do is I download these and I upload them to a playlist on my YouTube channel. So you can, Sandy, I almost just blocked you. That would have not been good. Oops. My friend's AVAN says, your devotion to the gospel and Christ-like example is inspiring. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. I was going to share something else tonight, but I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. I wanted to talk about when our friends leave the church and give you some words of wisdom that we don't need to leave to follow them or to support them. We can stay rooted in the gospel. So I think I'm going to prepare that tomorrow, and I'll go on tomorrow night and go live. See, I'm doing this all backwards. I really need like a social media assistant because I really should have these planned out where I can promote them in my stories and say, join me live and all that stuff. But there's only one Dennis, and I can't do it all. So, and my birthday's coming up, and I'm kind of actually dreading it because that's when my iPhone blows up. Everybody says happy birthday, and it's just, Like I'll get hundreds of texts and I'll just shut my phone off because I'm like a nervous wreck of just it's overwhelming. Where so I just yeah, my birthday's August 11th and I'm dreading the amount of text I'm going to get. It's Christmas that I get a lot, my birthday, and when I have a faith crisis. So, oh heavens, don't ever have a faith crisis on social media because then everybody has your iPhone number, they're gonna blow it up. So, I've learned. So I don't know if I got Happy Smiles 85. I love that screen name. Let everyone know the Moose Lake Temple in Wyoming is open now for viewing. Yes, yes. And I love moose. I want to see more moose. We have them in Connecticut, but I haven't. I saw a beautiful deer today, um, eating in the water pond right out that window. And of course, my phone was on the other side of the house. So when I went to go get it, take a picture, he saw me or she, and it was gone. So, but oh, congratulations in Wyoming. That is awesome. I know I read something on church news that they're not well, they're dedicating, but they're not doing the stones because your temple was built in record time. They like basically build them like pre-made houses and they just put them together and it's like quick. But this is what's so exciting about the gathering of Israel is they're getting more proficient. It's amazing because there's a lot of work to be done. When I was in the Hartford Temple, there were 33 vacant seats on Wednesday night. It was myself and another gentleman. We were the only men, well, and the male officiator. So there were 3 men in that endowment session. It was so small. It broke my heart. But so it made me say, I got to go to the temple more because we need to fill those chairs. There's a lot of names that need to be done. So, Vanessa, thank you very much for those. The official one train, I used to build trains as a child. I had, in the basement, I had a huge set of trains and tunnels and bridges and they went up and down and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So much fun. You guys are awesome. So, listen, I think I got to everybody because I'm shaking my phone. And I close with my testimony. Happy Smiles 85 says, oops, I meant to say, okay, temple. Okay, I got you. We know. As I'm like almost blocking people. I can't do this myself. You know how many times I've had my phone drop? Or it goes backwards or frontward. What happens on live stays on live. So I gotta get better at this. Someday I'll be able to have a village. Well, and you would know I had a stake calling. I have a stake calling. I'm in charge of communications for the Hartford Stake, and a lot of people don't even know what communications is, but it's a really important calling. And we're getting ready. It's another, was it 3 or 4 years before we have the 10-year anniversary of the Hartford Temple. And so I'm going to order this huge Christus statue that's going to come on like a flatbed. It's like life size, or it's like the size that they have at the visitor center. And for the Stake Center, we're going to do a whole week of open house, not at the temple, but at the Stake Center, because the Hartford Stake Center is in the same district as the temple. It's just, so I'm trying to get a team together of a bunch of people, a communication specialist and assistants and stuff that can help with this because there's a lot of work. And the whole purpose of communications is to change the perception of members, and so, or not members, but non-members, and also to help build like things like Just Serve and outreach programs, which are really important, and A Billion Graves, the app. And so I get a lot of information from Salt Lake, and I'm not allowed to say a word. Like, I know when Quorum of the 12 is going to be showing up in the New England area before anybody has ever told about it, because it's our job to prepare the press releases for this and to work with the church security and to get this out there. So it's such a wonderful, wonderful calling. JXLXB says, I served a mission in Boston from 2018 to 2019. I've been to that stake center. So you know Mission President Miller. He's the one that gave me my baptismal interview, and you probably know Sister Esplin and Sister Tomlinson and Sister Swanson and all these people. And oh my gosh, and now Sister Evans, because she's married. Yeah, that's... I have been to your in Provo 2019. I've been to your reunion, and so let me know if you were at that reunion with Mission President Miller. No, wait a minute, you were still serving in 2009. Oh yeah, March of 2019. Oh, so then you know Sister Wood, Holly Wood, or Alexis Wood. I flew home to surprise her for her March homecoming, and in Salt Lake, and I was at the airport when she got off and didn't know I was there. So I surprised Sister Alexis Wood, and her mom's name is Hollywood, and her husband's Dustin, because I was known for texting your parents, because when you had flip phones in the beginning, well, I was baptized in 2017. In 2018, you got the smartphones. We were allowed to use Facebook and stuff, but so I got really close with a lot of missionaries. So that is so cool. Your screen name is JXLXB. So again, we probably know so many of the missionaries, and you see them in my stories, and you just said, yes, you do. So I'm sorry we didn't get to meet. That would have been cool. You said, oh my gosh, haha, that's awesome. But so at your reunion with Mission President Miller and Sister Miller, he just texted me the other day, actually, and Sister Miller just texted me. We speak a lot, and you know Mission President Mavamachi, I can never say, I'm really close with him and his wife. They're really good. But I was at your reunion in October 2019 in Provo, and nobody got up to bear their testimony. And I looked at Mission President Miller and I says, for Pete's sakes, does it take the convert to start this off? And so I got up to the pulpit and I said, all right, everybody, I'm the convert. Like, if it wasn't for Sister Esplin and Sister Tomlinson praying for a walk-in, I would not be here today. And it was like, and even he said, yep, it took Dennis to get this reunion started. So, yeah, that was really, really cool. And let's see what else. Now we have BOW says, bowling_lover1234. What do you think about the teachings of the missionaries combining with the service missionaries? I think it's awesome. I think it's the service missionaries. I know a service missionary in my stake, and he is busier than you would not believe. Like, he is traveling everywhere doing lessons, because it's like, it's great for when the elders need another man present also, and he's able to go and be that person where somebody who's working 9 to 5 may not be able to go, like the elders quorum president or something, or one of the counselors. So I think it's awesome. I really do. And I think service missions are going to become so important, because it's, they're just so powerful. And actually, this elder that is serving a service mission, I just did a video with him that I posted about a month ago with my friends at Declare My Word. And he just is so powerful with his testimony that you can't deny it. You really can't. So service missionaries are the bomb. But I don't care what kind of missionary you are. We're all greenies And I say hashtag missionaries for life because if it wasn't for missionaries, I wouldn't be here. So I pray you enjoy your Sabbath, or our friends down under, that you enjoy. Oh, our missionary that served here says, yes, Sister Esplin is awesome. I see her. I texted her tonight, actually. And yes, I know her husband very well. She's now Sister Bundy. And she's living in St. George. And I know her her mother and her dad and all of her kids and stuff. And yeah, it's been amazing. So, see, it's such a small world. That is so cool. So, Mission President Miller, next time you speak to him, tell him that you spoke to Dennis. And Sister Mavamachi's the same thing. I should text her tonight and say hi. It's been a while, but she's been really, really special. That poor mission president, he knows 5 languages fluently. When he got called to Boston, he looked to his wife and says, well, honey, guess I'm going to have to learn English. He didn't know English. It was amazing. And I was at a zone conference with him that he invited me to for Christmas. And he's going, oh, everybody know our honorary gay Dennis. He's so gay. Everybody gay. We love the gay. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And the sisters were taking their scarves and like choking on him, like trying to go into the pew. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my gosh. But it was a language barrier thing. So it was, and his wife's going, honey, zip it, zip it. Because she spoke better English than he did. So, hey, Sherry, it's good to see you. And thank you for your encouraging comment. I took a screenshot of it. So, and our friend says, I know Mission President Mavamachis is awesome. He's hilarious. Have you met his mother? She's even funnier. He's like, Mom, you can bear your testimony, but you have 20 seconds. And she goes, don't tell me. I'm going to talk for an hour. She's from Greece or somewhere. Anyway, she's a hoot. Yeah, so the stories, well, I could just go on, but I'm rambling. So I'm going to let you guys all go. Have an awesome night. And thank you for everything. You guys are awesome and the bomb. So I just make sure I got all the comments. Yes, I did. All right, everybody. Bye for now. And again, this will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. Oh, thank you so much. You're amazing.